Everybody, we are expertsaw.com. In this video we're sharing with you what we think is Worx Worxsaw, one size 2x4 in one step with a compact, practical saw that weighs 50% less than a conventional circular saw 7:1, 4. Fine blades provide less tool pressure, which translates into circular blade speed and cutting performance. Blade size of 4.5 inches. The loading speed of 3,500 minute. Certain powders created by grinding, cutting, drilling, and other construction activities contain chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer, congenital disabilities, or other reproductive harm. Here are some examples of these chemicals. Your risk in these exposures varies depending on how often you perform this type of activity. To reduce exposure to these chemicals, work in a well-ventilated area and use approved safety equipment such as dust masks specially designed to remove microscopic particles. B. Do not use the electric tool in explosive atmospheres, such as flammable liquids, gases, or dust. Power tools create sparks that can ignite dust or smoke. C. Do not expose power tools to rain or moisture. Water penetration into the power tool increases the risk of electric shock. E. When using an outdoor power tool, use an extension cord suitable for outdoor use. Using a cable ideal for outdoor use reduces the risk of electric shock. B. Use personal protective equipment. Always wear eye protection. Protective equipment such as a dust mask, non-skid shoes, a hard hat, or a hearing aid used under appropriate conditions will reduce personal injury. C. Prevent any unintentional startup. Make sure the switch is in the optimal position before connecting the power supply and the battery by lifting or carrying the tool. Move power tools with your finger to the switch or power tools that the switch starts in case of an accident. D. Remove any adjusting key or key before starting the machine. A wrench or a left wrench attached to a rotating part of the tool may result in personal injury. E. Do not overdo it. Always keep your foot and your balance. It allows for better control of the power tool in unexpected situations. F. Dress properly. Do not wear clothes or free jewelry. Free clothing, jewelry, or long hair can be knit in moving parts. G. If there are devices to connect suction and dust collection devices, make sure they are connected and used correctly. The use of a dust collector can reduce the risk of dust. B. Do not use the power tool if the switch does not start and does not turn it on. All power tools that cannot be controlled with the switch are dangerous and need to be repaired. G. Use power tools, accessories, hand tools, etc. following these instructions and in the manner specified for the power tools, considering the working conditions and the work to be performed. Using the power tool for unintentional operations can result in a hazardous situation. A. Danger: keep your hands away from the cutting area and blade. If both sides hold the saw, they cannot be cut by the module. C. Adjust the depth of cut to the thickness of the workpiece. Less than one full tooth of the blade should be visible under the room. E. Hold the power tool only with insulated gripping surfaces when performing an operation in which the cutting tool may touch the hidden wiring or its cable. If you feel a live wire, the exposed metal parts of the device will be live and shake the operator. F. When you brake, always use a fence or a straight guide. It improves cutting accuracy and reduces the risk of blade attachment. If the blade rotates or misaligns in the cut, the teeth at the back of the module can be driven into the upper surface of the wood, causing the edge to come out of the screw and back to the operator. B. When the blade is attached or cut for any reason, release the trigger and hold the edge firmly in the material until the blade stops completely. Never attempt to remove the saw from the machine or pull it while the blade is moving, or the blow may appear. Investigate and take appropriate action to eliminate the cause of the leaf binder. C. When restarting a saw in the workpiece, center the saw blade in the cutter and check that the saw teeth are not engaged in the material. If the saw blade is mandatory, it can move or straighten from the workpiece when the saw is restarted. D. Supports large panels to minimize the risk of blade tightening and tilting. Large groups tend to bend under their weight. Racks should be under the dashboard on both sides, near the cut line and the edge of the panel. F. The levers for adjusting the depth and tilt of the blade must be tightened and secured before being cut. If the module is setting changes during cutting, it may cause jams and kickbacks. G. Be very careful when cutting existing walls or other blind areas. The protruding blade can cut objects that can cause a recoil. C. The lower guard can be removed manually only for individual cuts, such as joints and joint cuts. Lift the lower guard by pulling on the handle. As soon as the knife enters the material, the lower lever must be released. For all other chains, the lower guard should work automatically. D. Always make sure the lower guard covers the blade before placing it on the bench or the floor. An unprotected edge that goes down will cause the saw to return, cutting everything in its path. Be aware of the time it takes to stop the blade after releasing the switch.